am going to have to leave. I will leave early. I'm bargaining, so.
All right, Molly, you good to go?
Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Stephanie, can you take the roll, please?
Good morning, of course. Ava Bermuda Zimmerman.
Present.
Isha Canada. Isha has not joined us yet. Adrian will not be joining us. Looks like Isha just joined us.
Good morning, Isha.
Morning, Isha. We're just taking attendance. If
Sure.
we could just acknowledge. Isha Canada.
Yes, present.
All right. Sheila Hummel. Sheila has not joined us yet. Molly Weston Williamson.
Present.
And Justin Zertman.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. We want to start by acknowledging any members of the public who wish to identify themselves. I think we're late on public members, bright and early on this March morning. And with that, I believe we can move ahead to reviewing and approving the February minutes. Do we have a motion?
I have a motion.
Thanks, Ava. Do we have a second? I think I heard a second from Ava. Is that right? Good. All those in favor of approving the minutes from the February meeting, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
I believe the ayes have it. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okie dokie. Well, with that, we can proceed to our updates from Jessica.
Thanks, Molly. Good morning, everyone. Here we go. All right, so our updates for the month of March. First, I am really excited to share with you some screenshots of our new website design. You've been hearing me talk about it for what feels like 6 months, probably has been 6 months, but I just wanted to give you an update as to where we are. So what you see on the screen are some of the initial prototypes. So they're not finalized in terms of like images, or some images are there as placeholders. So if you see repetitive images, for example, that's why those will change. But I wanted to show you in terms of the style that we've decided upon. And some of the different elements. We have really spent a lot of time reviewing our content and thinking of different ways to organize it to make it just, first of all, we get a lot of feedback that people like our website and they think it's very helpful and very informative. So we wanted to just take that one step further and really streamline the content and organize it in such a way that it's even more useful for folks. One part that I'm really excited about is that we have added a page specifically about paid leave versus FMLA, with a lot of it. I know I was thinking of you, Molly. I was like, Molly's going to be excited about this. Goes into just a lot of detail about the differences, goes into, the Connecticut law and what some of those, eligibility requirements are, and then also provides the links to the specific areas of the DOL website where people can get more information. So that's one addition that we're really excited about. Another thing that I love that we've done with the new page is that we have created subpages for each different qualifying reason. So I have a screenshot of the top of the starting or expanding my family page, which will have information about pregnancy and childbirth, bonding, and adoption and foster care bonding. So we've done that for each of the different qualifying reasons, which is great because, for example, now we have a page specifically for military where we're able to really get into all of the sort of events that would fall under qualifying exigency leave, for example. So we're really able to get much deeper into the content for particular reasons. So where we are right now is yesterday, today, and tomorrow we have user testing taking place. So we have both some folks from the United Way Contact Us Center and some outside individuals, friends and family who have agreed to help us with testing. And so they're doing that with our designer. On Friday afternoon, we will be reviewing the comments and feedback to see what changes we might need to make, basically to see if the information architecture we put in place makes sense to someone who doesn't live it every single day. And then we continue to refine our content as well. So that's kind of where we are. Wanted to show you the tangible, you know, proof of all the work that we've been doing. Oops. Sorry, jumping ahead today. A couple of events. Last evening, Erin did a Facebook Live with Senator Martha Marks. That was great. I listened into it. It was really a great conversation, very informative. And I love those because beyond the people who watch it while it's live, it can live on that senator or state representative's page. So that's something that happened last night. And then on April 6th, we'll be doing a webinar with the SBDC. We had reached out to them to see if they could help us with spreading the word about our April 30th deadline for any past due contributions. And they said, absolutely. And why don't you come and do a webinar and speak to our members about it? So we have that coming up as well. And these are in addition to our normal webinar series that Amber does, which is, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 per month. Next, I wanted to give an update on our fund recovery campaign. So we have two different audiences, actually three different audiences, non-compliant employers. So people who are either registered and haven't made any contributions or haven't registered at all, but we feel like they ought to be. And then we have the employee pull-through campaign where that's reminding employees, hey, check your paycheck, make sure this deduction is being taken. And then the third audience is TPAs, which we're taking a slightly different approach with. So just wanted to give a recap of the first 30 days of this digital campaign. For non-compliant employers, we delivered almost 1 million impressions, and that yielded about 3,000 clicks. Just as a sort of aside to keep in mind, clicks you have to take a little bit with a grain of salt. They're a good metric, but it's not always about the clicks. It's sometimes about just the impression and the person seeing it over and over. And I think that in coordination with what the finance team is doing and individualized letters and emails they're sending out, it just all works really well together to build that awareness. So our highest click medium was Google AdWords. And I just thought it was interesting to see what the top 3 keyword phrases were. Those were CT paid leave withholding, payroll, and small business paid leave. And then I have a screenshot down there of this is one version of the Google AdWords ads, the one that is delivered most frequently. So you can see that for this one in particular, there was almost a 15% click-through rate, which is amazing. And then Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, delivered our second highest click-throughs. On the employee pull-through side, 320,000 impressions, just about 647 clicks. And just the flip-flop here. So Meta delivered the highest number of clicks, followed by Google AdWords. And the top phrases for Google AdWords were, how much do you get paid on FMLA? How much is maternity leave pay? And how much is paid parental leave? And this is an example of the ad that's being served up to folks when they're searching for those and other keyword phrases. And again, here, this is just one version of the ad, but this one had almost a 16% click-through rate. And then lastly, just wanted to give an update on some additional Spanish language outreach that we're engaging in. So we do have ads running with Telemundo and with Entravision, which is Univision and Unimas. They have a digital department. And so through their digital department, we are engaging in a series of targeted email outreach to both employees and business owners. So I know that other than Ava, you might not be able to tell the difference between the two, but the one on the left is for, and I don't mean to assume no one else speaks Spanish. I just, I want to be cognizant of the fact that you might not know exactly what you're looking at. So the one on the left is for employees, and the one on the right is for employers. The one on the left focuses just on general information about paid leave. What are the reasons for taking leave? Sending them to take the interactive questionnaire or quiz on our website to see if they might be eligible, and giving them more information about the differences with FMLA. And then for the employers, it's again information about that April 30th deadline, reminding them that if they haven't been remitting contributions, they do still have some time to do that without any interest or penalties, and advising them to contact us if they need any help with registration or remittance. Those are my updates for today. Happy to answer questions anybody might have.
Do other folks have questions?
I do have a question. So thank you for walking us through that, Jessica. I'm really excited for the web redesign. The authority is really demonstrating, modern practices around keeping their content and primary online channels updated and refreshed. So that's really, really good to see. Just a question around how do we handle other languages where they may need help? So I love the Spanish translation, but do we also offer translation services for other languages?
So currently we do not, we don't have that capability, but one feature of our new website, which is going to be wonderful, is that it will implement Google Translate, which will allow the user to select from a variety of different languages. We do know that Google Translate, of course, because it's machine translation, it's not going to be perfect, but it will at least allow people who do speak other languages to view our content and be able to absorb it, relatively well. So that's one thing that's coming with the new website. I do know that with our Contact Us Center, they do have Spanish speakers on staff, but I also know that they can implement or they can utilize translation services if they do have someone who calls in and speaks a different language and needs to communicate in that way.
Oh, good. So that was going to be my next question. Does our providers have the ability to switch from the IBR perspective?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Aflac does the same. They use Language Link.
Okay.
For the
Awesome. Very good.
And
just
as a quick aside, I just wanted to say thank you, publicly in this meeting to Isha. She took some time to meet with us 2 weeks ago and talk about some different ways that we could gather our unstructured data, and gave us a great lead for who to speak to at DAS, which Nancy and I connected with him on a particular product called Sprout Social. And now we're going to move into getting a demonstration and some pricing on that. So I just wanted to say thank you, Isha, for taking time out of your busy workday to help us learn more about that.
No problem. We're a working board. Glad to help.
Go team.
Yes.
So I had a follow-up question to that, which is if do we have application materials in English, in languages other than English and Spanish? Or is the application form just in English and Spanish?
So again, I think the application forms are in English and Spanish. And if people connect and need something else, they're able to sort of walk them through that. The medical documentation and the employment verification forms we haven't had any requests for anything other beyond English and Spanish. And I think for the rest of it, in terms of the initial questionnaire, they do that on the phone through Language Link.
Got it. Thanks. That's helpful. And I just have one, I'm sure there is a good answer to this, but in the Spanish language materials, it looks like we're translating CTFMLA, but we're not translating the proper noun, CT paid leave.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. I actually spoke pretty extensively with our representatives at the Spanish the TV stations and asked them what they thought would be most useful. And they said that, because for a while I was translating CT paid leave in all of our materials, and they said that they felt like because it's our brand, right, that it might be more useful to just use the English term because that's how we're known, right? And same thing with FMLA. Like at first we translated, the Connecticut Family and Medical Leave Act, and they were like, you know what, we think that if you just use FMLA, they CT, like CT FMLA, it will people will have more recognition with that than they will with like the fully translated term. So that's why we started doing CT paid leave, just sort of in its regular English version.
Got it. That makes a ton of sense. And also, I assume it's a long document. I assume words that end up translating CT paid leave appear elsewhere in that document. If folks
they do.
I think I cut Isha off.
No, I was just seconding Jessica's explanation. It's typically done in the industry where if you have a brand, that brand is left the way it is, and the translation works around it. Yeah.
Got it. All makes sense. Any other questions or comments for Jessica? Okay. Hearing none, I believe we have podcast updates from Nancy.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So far, we have 1,701 downloads. I released a podcast on Monday on heart health with Dr. Tiggity from Yukon Health, which was wonderful. It really focused on women. Next up is long haul COVID with a doctor from Yale and 2 patients who are suffering currently from long haul. And it's really powerful to hear how much their lives are affected by it. And I got a little bit of an education because I didn't know it was so devastating, but it really is. So I'm looking forward to getting that one up because that is a reason for leave under Connecticut paid leave. The top 5 apps that people listen to the podcast on is our Buzzsprout embed player on our website. Then it's Apple Podcasts, and then the Buzzsprout site itself, and then Spotify and Facebook. A lot of people. Devices people are using to listen to the podcast. Apple iPhone is number 1. Then a Windows computer, Android phones, Apple computer, and then an unknown device. I don't know why they don't know what it is, but after that, it's smart TV and Google Chromebook. And countries listening are the US, Germany, Canada, India, Vietnam. We have Israel and Singapore. And the cities listening, Farmington, Bloomfield, Hartford, and Frankfurt, Germany is one of the top ones. And then East Hartford, Bristol, New York, the Bronx, Tappahannock, Virginia, Peoria, Illinois, Parker, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and Boston. So we're getting, and Philly. I don't want to leave Philly out. I can't leave Philly out. But we're getting some interesting cities to listen. So I find that really wonderful. So that is what I have so far for the updates in the podcast. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Anyone have any questions for Nancy?
I just wanted to add that we have also put the podcast episodes on YouTube. That was a suggestion that Nancy had gleaned from her time at the Podcast Expo as a way to help grow the audience. And as soon as we put them up, I was like, Nancy, are you listening to all your podcasts again?
I promise I didn't.
We just got a whole bunch
me.
of, so it seems like it's already, having the desired effect.
Yeah, that's great. I forgot to mention that. Thanks, Jessica.
That's awesome. I love repurposing content. I love also hearing about for the long haul episode that you're pairing the doctor and the patient. Like it's a great, multiple voices. Also, I really want to know why you're so popular in Germany.
I don't know. I think there must be a US base there. I don't know anybody in Germany, but I feel like I should go visit. I feel like I should go visit Germany and thank them.
Nice. Anything else for Nancy? Awesome. Any old business? Hearing none. Any new business? Okay. Are we back to having a quorum because Justin left, but Isha came on? Is that right?
I think we're okay. You can still vote to adjourn.
Yeah. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I can second that motion.
I hear a motion from Isha and a second from Ava. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
I believe the ayes have it. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great morning, and we'll see everyone soon.
Perfect. Thanks
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.